Evening everyone, how are we doing tonight? Welcome along. Evening Rabbit Man, Jeremy, Michael, Carl, Elite, David. How are we all doing? So, what are we going to find tonight then? Hey Farm Life, welcome along. We're on the start screen. What are we going to find? Place your bets now. So, hey Tim, how are you doing? How long is it going to take me to find a floating object on Welker Farms? What do we reckon?
Hi, this is Nick Welker speaking.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. I could just go to somewhere I know there's something floating last time. Let's have a look. Last time we were on here, this shed was floating. Bingo. How's that? Under 1 minute. So let's hope that's the only thing I can find this time. Well, I've got under a minute this time, Jeremy, so you lose. Right, seriously, let's have a look and see what we've got. That's cheating, really, because I did come on there and get a screenshot early, so I knew that was still floating. Right, there's one outstanding issue I already know of this. Evening 1174, we've still got a lot of used equipment here. Now we know last time we looked at this with Nathan and MJ in the chat. Let me just sort this out. That we answer that this is a save game if this is in here with hours on. And that maps have been kicked back for this one before. So this has got 1.9 hours on the clock. Well, that means there's a save game on here again. What about the Sprite? 6,003 litres of fertiliser, 0.6 hours on the clock. So that's out of a save game. 707 litres of seed, 2.8 hours on the clock. That's out of a save game. So yet again we've got a save game loaded on here. Someone's own save game. Yeah, it's the fact that Giants have failed other maps for having them on here. Right, so I guess the big question we've got with changes on this map, what's the boundary like? What do you reckon? What's the boundary like? What are we going to find? Garage doors still weird. They still... Oh yeah, I see exactly what you mean. The garage doors and the windows over there, they're still all wavy textured. So there, yeah, it's still a bit of a texture issue going on over there with those doors and windows. But the boundary is what we want to have a look at. I can see a boundary. Can actually see a map boundary. We actually have a boundary on the map finally. It might be a painted one, but we finally have a map border. So that's better than it was. A lot better. As far as I'm concerned, that's a big improvement. Pallets in the field, Jeremy. Let's have a look. They're the one behind the... Well, this field, wasn't the one behind the farm. One thing's for certain, if there are pallets in this field, I don't know if I can make Combine go off for the crunch. do one better than that in a moment, Thomas. There might be, Michael, you never know. Can't see any pallets in that field. So let's have a look over the other side then. So we have a definite improvement the other side of the map border. It's better. It's a lot better than it was. That's no worse than a lot of other maps now. I think Farm Life doesn't like that you've awoken the bot, Milton. So that does look better the other side there. Very true, Jeremy. It's a vast improvement over how it was there. So, let's have a look what we've got up here. The tilted building is still tilted. Definitely still uneven in there. You do well get something in that still. Which is unfortunate. With that border actually being there, that makes me more interested in actually playing this map. Okay, casual Farm Life. I know you're not judging stock really, there's probably some young girl there you try judge instead. Known young farmers. If that's anything I used to be when I was in them. What else we got up here? We're slowly making our way towards the relevant part. Milton knows what I'm looking for up here, I think. From last time I was up this end on here. So another one there with some uneven floor in it. Oh. Low fat shipping container. This is Welker's again, Mike. It's had an update today. So we're just having a look, see if they've actually fixed it this time. So we've got a floating shipping container now up here. I'm hoping we can't find any, but I think I'm being very hopeful there. Now, somewhere in this little cluster up here, I believe, the first offender. I think that's somewhere in this little group we found a floaty last time. Oh, there it is. One floating tree. Two floating trees. Hope someone's keeping a tally of these, because I lost count last time. Now the update clearly says all bug fixes have been done, so... Oh, floating shed. Floating map border? There's a new one for us. That's something we didn't have floating on there before because there weren't one. Poorly joined map border. Okay, you ain't gonna have to come around that too closely. And they were doing so well. I like the fact they've put that border on here. It does make the map more playable in my opinion. And I'm sure they've got different textures on here. So I'm not going to put seasons on just yet or anything. Floating bin, still there. Sadly, it's looking like I was hoping when they said all the bug fixes have been done this time that we wouldn't find anything. To be honest, this doesn't bode well for Zach's map. Can we see anything along this way? Does look like it, Tim. I didn't want to find anything wrong this time either on here. I was really hoping it wouldn't be. Good point is, although it's a painted border, it does finish the map off better. It looks better. I can live with that on here. It's the other bits and pieces again. It is Rabbit Man, that's the problem. I mean, myself, Tim and 1 or 2 others in chat know the problems Nathan had. And then we get this. I mean, yes, I don't like these types of boundaries, but in this case it's been the best way to do it because of the type of map it is. I'm not going to try and fall off the map again this time like I did last time. Yeah, I wanted to get into this as well. It's easier to play with this round the outside, that's for certain. So I come on this tonight hoping... What on earth is going on there? What is going on with that border? Ooh. That's a little bit weird. We'll have a look. We will have a look. We're now heading up in the direction where I found a colossal amount of floating trees and underground tunnels. Well, that's one way of putting it, I guess. Sort of piggy. Right, let's start with this clump of trees. See if they've earthed all the trees out this time. Or we've still got any trees with helium sap in them. Well, this cluster's looking good so far. Oh, here we go. Hope you got your tally charts ready. 1, 2, 3. 3 more floating trees for the list. Four, 5, 6. So we've still got a few floaty trees about here. I haven't seen any 6 feet off the ground yet this time. And another one. I think. Yep, that one is. That one definitely is. No two ways about that one. That one's definitely a floaty tree. Exactly, Jeremy. A level playing field for testing. And another one. And another one. And another one. If all of them were tested the same, we wouldn't have these criticisms. That's the thing. It's just consistent across everything. It shouldn't be a case of whichever tester it is, it should be consistent testing amongst all of them. Oh look, another helium tree. Shouldn't matter which one the testers test them at, they should be the same. Or any mod for that matter, as that star proved the other day. Wonky trees we can live with as long as they're in the ground. Not every tree is vertical in real life, so that isn't a problem. Looks more realistic if you get the odd one leaning over. So we know there's underground caverns in that lake from last time. And yep, there's another one. No, you don't. I've not seen any floating that high. They usually drop by that point in time. I haven't found the suspended animation chainsaw yet. What does that to them? You could understand if the old tree is floating if it's got a lot of undergrowth around the bottom. That makes it harder. We know there's one or two on This Is Ireland for that very reason. Not just oversight by Lancy in that case, because when Seasons was activated, it took the leaves off the bushes and you could see them. Easy mistake. This, however, I don't know, Thomas. I've not found that before we stand against them and the border moves in and out. Trouble with all these trees on here is remembering where we've been. Hey Geordie lad, how are we doing? We may miss trees, but I'm trying not to go over the same area twice. Don't think we need to go over the same area twice to get floating trees, unfortunately. So let's have a wander around the back this way this time. See what else we can discover. It did, Kevin. It doesn't seem to have had it though. That's the problem. As I say, it's good to see a map border on here. But at the same time, you still walk through the rocks. Yeah, you might need to put some anti-aircraft lights up on the trees. Where are those pedestrians disappearing to? Oh, floaty. Floating post this time. Oh look. Get your tree counters ready again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. Now think back to 17, how often did we find a floating tree? Floating poles, again. So far the floating poles, floating sheds, and floating trees. Exactly, Tim. It is rare if we found something floating on the 17 map. When you consider that a certain map got failed in 17 for a floating hose pipe, this is beyond a joke. Unfortunately. Oh, another one for the list. And another one. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they managed it. It's not as if they're overly thick placements of trees either. Now we know last time I managed to place a building so it's part off the map on here. When I was messing around on here. It's annoying that that's still like this, to me. Just a little while ago, I want to be able to get into this map to play it this time. No, you just got to drag it down enough in GE. All these floating trees could be fixed in what, 5 minutes? 10 at the outside? Lots of people in the bushes around here. Don't know what them two have been up to. She don't mind that tree don't drop on her though. Another one for your list. That'll give you a headache if that fell on you. We'll have a look in a moment, Thomas. Everything we've found so far are the same things I found last time we looked at the map. Nothing has been fixed. Let's see if the container's still floating, shall we? Well, that tree is. Another one for your list. Oh look. Floating container. Seem to remember the last time we had some dirt floating in there as well. In this area somewhere. Yep, there it is. Got a dirt plane floating in the air there. I just walk through it. You've got the gravel pole, we should be able to see it there. Yeah, it's just sort of there. So there's a dirt plane there. She looks happy. Hey SG, how we doing? Let's have a look. Yep, I'm not too bad, thanks. So, shall we go into the shop first to have a look? Well, the pallets of seed are gone this time. Car in a building. We've definitely got a car in a building there. Now that's ridiculous. Oh, come on, honestly. That's not even just touching the building, that's through the building. We've got a rather charming receptionist there. If I dare look round this way this time. Car sunk in the ground slightly. How could you miss that if you're testing a map? Honestly. I'm sure that wasn't like that last time. Someone's put the helium on the MIG welder again. Someone ought to tell them that's argon what goes on that, not helium. They get on better with some argon. An Argo shield. Textures on that thing. Problem is this map has got so much potential to be right, it's annoying that it's not. That's actually a milk tank, believe it or not. Wow. Zone markers, floating or what? Hang on, I've got the zone markers on the floor. Yeah, third update. And so far I've not seen anything what has been fixed since the second update. I'm not quite sure we've got steam coming out of a milk tank myself. I don't know what the... Yep, third update. I don't know what sort of milk them cows are producing, but that must be some fairly hot stuff. You're feeding them on chili powder. I do wonder if that's why it's taken so long, is because he's watching these ones. Right, let's have a look in this cell point. I don't see the need for these things now. These sort of props. Wow, tree through a wall. There's a new one for us. Not too much floating in this bit. Yeah, it does now. I don't know why we still need these in here. It just makes it look cluttered and untidy. Nice position on that gas bottle rack. I won't be standing there how it's leaning over. But what's going on with the ground textures here? I mean, what is that supposed to be textured as? It certainly doesn't look like concrete. It's the same sort of texture as the fields had around the outside of the map. Nice little dip in the corner there. They certainly do, Jeremy. That would be interesting, Farmer Palmer, to hear what they do think of this. Try to work out what crop textures they're using on here. There, we've got the old one back again. Right, let's go up to another cell point. So we've done the two down this end. Let's have a look at this one. Caravan textures. Wouldn't be so bad if everything we're finding wasn't simple little fixes. They're all easy 5-minute fixes we're finding on here at the moment. There's some big bunnies. Well, that shed seems to be a bit in the ground. Which sell point, Kevin? I know there's one at the main yard. I mean, that thing is beyond a joke now, how old that is. So all the buildings here seem to be seated. No, they are. Thomas, they are out of date. That's why I don't really see the need for them anymore. So what have we got going to happen when the cars go off the map up here now then? They're just driving straight through the hedge. Yes, they are. Interesting. I would guess they're just converted across, Thomas. So the traffic is just sort of doing backflips in the middle of the outer map area. That's doing backflips there, that one just coming. Yes. Alright, let's have a look in this sell point. And for a sell point, that'd actually be nice to see a concrete road into it. I have to say yet again, I'm disappointed by the updates to this map. Problem is, the map itself could be so good if they just sort these last few little bits out to it. This is now the third go in 19 to sort these bits and pieces out. Straight away you can see this is a 19 building. The concrete. That's how it should look in the other sell point. See, this is 19 textures. Floating shipping container again. If they would just have sorted all these last little bits out when they've put this boundary and everything round, they would have actually got it this time. Can't complain about field shape, size, etc, because that's what they like. Sure, that car is floating slightly. Why can we hear water there? Hey Liam, how are you doing? Can anyone see any water anywhere? Because I can't. I can hear it. No, I can really hear it. Shouldn't be able to hear a waterfall in the middle of a field. Interesting. Have you ever seen electricity cables come beyond the pole before and go through it? No, neither have I. So one side we've got the right bits, the other side that goes straight into the pole. Oh, please do. Good suggestion, Milton. Well, at least they were attached properly at the other end. That one's just kind of hanging there by Jedi force of some description. That one's kind of through the post. Yeah, if I had time to write them all out. Oh look! Floaty telegraph pole. And another one. How many floaty trees are we up to so far, guys? I know you're keeping track of them this time. "21 floating trees, several floating buildings, floating telegraph poles, disconnected cables, dodgy textures on garage doors, floating building over here, floating shipping containers elsewhere on the map, and that's before we even tried to place a building on here. And the fact we start off with a save game. Oh yeah, car park through building. Someone stuffed the chickens as well. Floating garden bench. How many more goes is it going to take for them to get this map fixed? And why are giants not picking up on it every time? Running water in the fields, yeah, I've found that elsewhere as well on here. It's not just that field, there's running water in, unfortunately. It's all over the map. That's the unfortunate bit. I actually question if it has been tested. Some of this. What can we hear again? Got running water again. So why have we got running water here again? They are, Rabbit Man. That's the worrying bit. Where's the water to give us the running water sound effects? There's no ditches there, no ponds. It's gone there. The nearest water is right over here. Doing my impression of Jesus now, I think. Walking on water. Just walk into there. Something was stopping me. Yeah, that's the unfortunate bit. See, we're in water now, but we've got no running water sound effects or anything. Can't count these floating trees, so I think we've already seen these ones. I can't actually get out for the water at the minute. I'm stuck underwater. I would imagine they're still there. I mean, all these old scrap vehicles, I can't see the point of them anymore on here. I haven't found any pallets dumped anywhere this time, so that's been fixed. But the map is running its own texture files. because these aren't my grass textures. Oh, that's not too bad there, Milton. Never sure which way doing something like this is gonna go. Hey Nathan, how are we doing? So I think we can safely conclude that no, the map has not been fixed. Again. So let's just try to drive the line of telegraph poles, see if there's any more floating ones. Everything, Nathan. Same as the last time I looked at it. There's one or two things gone and we've got this map boundary now. But we've still found 21 floating trees, floating buildings, floating telegraph poles, car through a building, floating welders, a steaming milk tank, floating shipping containers. Disconnected electric cables on the poles. Underground water. Yep, forgot that one. Haven't tried to drive off the edge of the map yet. Textures on that door in front of us are now waving. Did anyone else just see them start going funny on there? Yeah, the textures on that door are still playing up slightly, shall we say? And of course, starting with the save game again is... we know others have been failed for doing that. So why not this one? Well, at least the map boundary is solid there. So it seems got a mixture of some of the textures that's used in my ones, other ones there's some in the map. So good points, the boundary's an improvement. Bad points, they've not fixed anything else and they've got joins in the boundaries. Oh, the wonky building as well. How could we forget the wonky building? Let's have a route around this cell point then, see what we can find. Oh yeah, still teleport through rocks, there's no collision on them. Huh. Two more there, I don't think we got them two last time. The dodgy textures still. Floating picnic bench. Floating zone markers as well. Yeah, that one's floating as well. They've got the concrete down, but they've not got the building seated on it. Yeah, floating MIG welder. I know, Nathan. I know MJ came in last time because he'd been fouled for some of the things this has got through with. Oh, floating barriers as well. Floating dirt plane. That's so because we won't give him a moment's peace till he does, Tim. He knows if he doesn't fix it, we'll just keep nagging him till he does. Definitely not, Tom. Nowhere near. Welcome along. Fixed is not a word I'd use to describe this map. Old textures, yeah. I don't know how they got away with the textures on here, to be fair. They finally got running water in the right place. Running water where there's water. That's an improvement. Well, it was. It's now raining on here. That's not got to help with the rain, the running water. Hang on, what's the time on here? Hope I got the right one up there, wasn't it? I can't remember where we've been and where we haven't with trees now. We could put seasons back on, I suppose. What do you reckon? Seasons and snow mask check? What's the worst that could be happening? We done it last time, didn't we? There's also another check we need to make with a different save game. What happened the last time we tried farm manager mode and tried to place a building? Anyone remember? Or start from scratch? Don't know, Redneck TV. We haven't had a look at that. Let's done it again. My game has been playing up a couple of times today. Instead of going through to the mod screen, it's gone all the way through and then glitched. Since I put this in. Second time that's done that little trick today. It's missed the mod screen out for some reason. Exactly, Milton couldn't place it last time. We're not doing too far, Nathan, considering how soon in the month we are. Got to remember what mods we need in for this. Right, all I'm putting in are the 3 bud mods and seasons on start from scratch. Actually, season won't make a difference on this one. So we're seasons and we'll start from scratch this time. No seasons and no mods other than the buds. So start from scratch, we should have no machinery, should we? Oh, what have we got over here? This doesn't look like start from scratch. Can we place a building then? Can we place anything? If we bought the land, we probably could. I think we better have some funds in before we try and buy land on this place. Right, can we place anything on here now? Doing well then, Nathan. Okay, so it's looking more... I've not got place anywhere in, but it's looking more favourable than it did last time for placing stuff. Not brilliant, but better. We can at least place stuff now. So that problem has been fixed. So in theory we should be able to put these in here, shouldn't we? So as long as you put them exactly where they should be. So So we end up with a massive concrete grid around them now. Let's have a look something. Interesting. If you place this, other than the electric box being slightly floating, the building is actually grounded. The auger is through the floor. So something actually works. But why couldn't we place stuff here? Because the ground is flat. Can we put a house in then? So we should be able to put the house over here, shouldn't we, if everything works? So we have some progress now, at least. We can actually replace things if we want to. So that bit is sorted. Don't like the fact we still start the save game stuff though. So that bit's fine. So what we will now do is launch into another one. Yeah, well that's common with any one, isn't it, Thomas, now? We'll now start another save game with seasons. We can have a look, Redneck, on that one. Let's start ourselves another one on New Farmer. Carefully this time so it doesn't skip through the mod section. There we go. Deselect all. Right. Can someone remember the command for adding snow? I don't know what's making it skip, Jeremy. That's twice it's done. It's down twice on this map. It's only this map it's done it with. Right, so we have seasons now, which is sure a recipe for finding floating trees normally. So unfortunately that's how we found them on this island the other night, when the leaves went off the bushes around the bottom of them. You could see them. Right, so painting grass texture wasn't what we had a problem with. Looks like we can paint growing grass this time. No issues there now. Apart from Meadowgrove, Nathan. So we can now paint grass, that bit's fine. No issues there. So are we going to get any snow? Here it comes. Let's have a check in the buildings this time. So no issues in this one. See, there's no issues around that one, apart from floating wheel marks. Wheel tracks are floating in and out of the building. With the snow on the ground, that one's not floating so badly. Still floating, but I believe last time some of the biggest problems were across at the other buildings with a snow mask. So this building isn't snow masked still. But at least the bin's keeping nice and dry with its feet above the snow. That is snow masked. The bins are snow masked. That building isn't. This one is. The tip point isn't. Okay. That's a bit of a weird way of doing a snow mask, isn't it? To actually mask everything but the tip point. Interesting trick. This cell point has no snow masks in it. Well, that snow melted quick. It's no fair, the snow melted too quick. So these weren't the potato textures we had last night, were they, Milton? Oh, you're so looking forward to that, aren't you, Nathan? Funny enough, myself and Tim were talking about that the other night. So now there's no snow on the ground, it should make it even easier to find floaty stuff. Potato textures on here weren't the ones we had last night, Milton. They're greeny tops on here. So they must be running the Forgotten Fruits pack on here. So we can easily see around these poles now. Makes it easy to spot them when you get them like this. Garage doors are definitely doing their weird textury thing over there. There's something not quite right with them still. Bit of a weird one. So very peculiar goings on. Just in case anyone's got a weak bladder again, I thought we'd just visit the running water in the middle of the map. Floating car. Did that car just leave the ground on that corner? Seems to be more pedestrians on here this time. Oh, who left that poor little tree just floating above the ground? It's too young to float. Can't have young trees floating. Now last time I managed to place a silo so it was off the map. Do you think I can repeat the experiment? Somewhere up this corner I placed it. Hi Sanders Farms, how are we doing? Might just have to buy an area of land first. Might need some money. Bit short of funds at the minute for that one. We're not now. This is all for experimentation purposes. So if you buy that one, you buy... What are you buying there? If I buy that... What exactly does that buy us? Narrow strip. All around there. Hi Nathaniel, how are we doing? Is that buying us waterways or something? Right, that gives me a nice big area to try and place a building down on. Last time I managed to get this hanging off the map. Much like that. That's not meant to happen, is it? How about if we put it there, so it's growing through the wall? Surely you should not be able to do that. That should come up with collision warnings. I haven't ever managed on any other map to place something so it's hanging off the boundary. So it's not just there, it's lots of places. So I'll push it through and off. So it's on that boundary as well, you can do it. I'd like to see you get into that grain auger to fill the bins up. Ooh, this should be fun then. Don't think you should be able to do that, should you? If you put a silage clamp down, at least they can drive through that. Don't think you're supposed to be able to do that, are you, somehow? So at least I've not blocked the road with that one. Good point, 1174. That's got to be worth just standing there, that for the laugh, hasn't it? How the cars are behaving, that. They're floating as well. That's actually floating. Whose maze texture is that? Or which maze texture is that to give that pattern? Don't think they like my little ramp. Yeah, Nathan was a bit slow there, Jeremy. You missed that one. Even they put the little hazard lights on as they got up that little ramp there. So, what is our opinion of Welker Farms then? The map. or should I say the Welker Farms map. So this is the potato texture on this map, so it's got its own texture folder. It's got to. Floating cotton bush, anyone? What am I checking for, Milton? Yeah, I would agree with that one there, Jeremy. Oh look, there's another one. The boundary isn't earthed out properly. Yeah, I thought it might be. We'll be finished in a moment anyway. So we plan on doing till 8:30 tonight. So I thought that'd be long enough to find out whether this map had been fixed or not. But I haven't even dragged the boundary down low enough there. I know we found it at the top end of the map, but again on this edge is a bit much really. And the join again there. At least I've not fallen off the map this time. Yeah, I just got the email telling me that I've gone live an hour and a half ago. It does. This is not a good advert for Giants testing, this one. The map itself is fine. It's the small niggles with it. If they sorted the niggles out, the map would be good now. The boundary's done. It just needs these little niggles sorted out. There's nothing game-breakingly wrong with it. It's a map I want to be able to play, but well, we got all these problems with it. It's not going to happen as much as I'd like to. I think Mappers Paradise need to invest a bit more time in testers. Or actually invest in some testers. Because let's face it, everything we've found tonight with your little team of testers, Nathan, wouldn't be here, would it? Exactly, Rabbit Man. Fix it, it's fine. And this is now their third go at getting this right. And it's still not right. All it needs is the right team of testers on there and that'll be sorted. I think Giants just want to train the ones they've got as to what's required of them a bit better, personally. What's our fee now, Tim? Is it a box of Maltesers? And some cider? Or for really hardcore stuff, some Jack Daniels? What I can't understand is how come this is floating hair when you put it down as a placeable, it's not. Anyway, that is where I'm going to be finishing for tonight. I think we've seen enough on here for now. What I'd actually hoped tonight was I wouldn't find much wrong in the first half. Now we could actually play the map and do something on here. But yet again, I've been disappointed with that one. As he says that, you can see something else floating. Floating dumpy bag. There you go, just to finish off another floaty. Floating dumpy bag. Right, so that's where we're going to be finishing for tonight. So I will pop a link into the chat for today's video. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for watching the stream tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it, despite the content. And I will see you again next time. Yes, it is TJ over there on Twitch. I will catch you all again next time. Goodbye for now.